You was doing all of that, posing in front of the American flag in the name of nationalism when black people are, always facing the hardest out here, but you pandering to the white folk, okay? White imagery. You was doing all that pandering and they still not moving to buy your tickets. Not enough. Because if Child, I never thought we would see the day that I would have this conversation that Beyonce's tour is flopping. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, y'all. I hope that everybody's been having a good day or night, whatever time it is where you are. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel by tapping all notifications when you do so that you never miss when I go live or when I upload. So let's talk. I was really just scrolling Twitter and I saw this post that I literally saw like last week. And it was like, reporting of Beyonce's tour and how it was doing. And so it came back on my timeline. Like I literally saw it a week ago and now it's back on my timeline again. And look at the engagement. It has 23,000 likes, 3.1 thousand bookmarks. And yeah, like it's just getting a lot of attention. And so the fans are talking. The fans been talking, child. Beyonce and Taylor Swift have had fans up in arms since their last tours because like they just be doing a lot or whatever. And so, she going on tour for this Cowboy Carter album and the prices have not been giving. They've been not giving though. And it's like, I really don't know why she would charge that much for an album that nobody cared about. You get it? All right. Just like she won a Grammy for an album that was trash. Anyway, and this is no shade or hate to Beyonce because, we really all respect her and love her, at a very basic level. But anyway, let's get into so it says, according to the pop stuff, it says several media outlets are reporting the massive failure of Beyonce's vastly unsold Cowboy Carter tour. The tour has barely sold out 3 of 30 shows, with 27 shows still having a lot of unsold tickets. A music industry insider said, sometimes you don't retire, the fans retire you. Woo! Okay, so they saying that, child, even though Beyonce ain't retired yet, we just tired of seeing her. Or maybe we tired, or, maybe the people are tired of her. What do you guys think? Okay, keep it cute, keep it calm in my comment section though. But anyway, so this is coming from News Nation. Their headline is Beyonce Cowboy Carter tour not selling ticket. Let's get into the article. Actually, we love to do our research around here. Okay, the pop star may have topped the country chart for her Cowboy Carter album, for which she won her first Album of the Year award from the Grammys. But her ticket sales for the recently announced Cowboy Carter tour have been lackluster, and she has yet to sell out any shows. So it says, according to Ticketmaster and StubHub, tickets for all shows on her tour, which kicks off at the end of April, are still available. Her ticket sales are especially show in the UK, according to the London Times in an article titled, She's a Global Megastar. So why can't Beyonce sell out her UK tour? Per the Times, Ticketmaster had braced itself for an onslaught that never came. I'm crying. Stateside, there is just economic exhaustion, and many fans blew a lot of their money seeing her just 2 years ago. Facts. And Taylor Swift tickets last year, of course. And so they go on to say her fan base did not like Cowboy Carter. Child, nobody liked Cowboy Carter. They were not impressed, a music industry insider told me. They just blew their wads seeing her 2 years ago, and in Taylor tickets, bad economics right now. She may end up like Justin Timberlake playing to just 11,000 fans at the end of his Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Why did Justin Timberlake, in his peak of irrelevancy, think that he could sell out stadiums? Is that what he did? You tell me. So it says, readers of this column will remember I was first with the information that Timberlake's tour wasn't selling well, and as music journalist Torre told me, sometimes you don't retire, the fans retire you, child. So yeah, now what I want to do is I want to get into for real, like I want to get into what the real fans are saying, okay? But first, as I always do, I love going to like my industry insider sources as well, who is backing up what fans are saying. The tickets are too expensive. That's the story, okay? So now somebody said, may I ask, what is the difference with Taylor Swift then? I mean, she made $1 billion off her tour. Also, to mention, it did well for most states. Were her tickets affordable or expensive too? Now, I do think that like this is a valid concern. Somebody else said Beyonce's are insane. I picked around the same area I sat in for Taylor, 400. Okay, for 545. My ticket, my night 1 and 2 tickets and 1 floor and 2 lower bowl row one came up to 470 minus fees. If I got these 2 seats for Beyonce, it'll cost 945 minus fees. Gotta pay this much to watch Beyonce dance. Nah, just gonna stick with the YouTube videos once released. The Eras tour isn't a good comparison to anyone or anything. It is unique. Tickets were expensive but cheaper than Beyonce's current or Kendrick's for that matter. But the man was also insane. I guess, like, yeah, you could say that because I'm not gonna argue with no Taylor Swift fans because Taylor Swift is like her and Beyonce have different demographics, right? Beyonce, even though like you can find like any type of person at a Beyonce show, um, Taylor Swift is just for white people, right? And white people like conventionally make more money than a black audience, which is demographically what Beyonce is always trying to, like pander to. So, and it's real interesting because not only Beyonce has a tour this year, Kendrick Lamar and SZA have their tour this year. They're also doing stadiums and stuff. Not the whole stadium. I don't even think Beyonce doing the whole stadium either. But yeah, like it's real crazy because whoever is in Rock Nation pockets right now, Beyonce as well as TDE, they have the biggest tours and it's looking like a family. Like they are like the heart of the industry right now in terms of like for black music. And so it's really interesting how like I don't know what they thought of like having the two biggest tours where it's like a lot of people who are probably fans of Beyonce are probably fans of Kendrick and stuff like that. And so now you have two huge tours that you're going to pay at least $1,000 for each of them, right? And yeah, we are in a silent depression right now. And not just in America. It's globally, we're all fighting. Anyway, I want to get into these quotes. Let's go. So it says currently in LA. Oh, wow. So the blue represents what has not sold out. This is so crazy actually for Beyonce because Beyonce is Beyonce, bro. I actually wish I saw Beyonce back in the day, because it's like didn't like this album, didn't like the last album. So it's just like, why would I go see her now? But, I think it is Beyonce is like, after like watching her Coachella performance on Netflix, like that's really what made me be like, oh my God, like I need to go to see Beyonce. But it's just like, no, like if your music was good, then I would, but it's not. So I'm not. It says, why do y'all even bother with these fake ass takes when she's just going to be breaking every possible touring achievement with this tour in just 50 days? I wouldn't say breaking every possible touring achievement because once again, Taylor Swift made over $1 billion on her tour. Okay. She even gave people $1 million in their bonus salary. Beyonce only made like about, I don't even know, like 500, 600 million on her tour. So it's like there people are comparing Beyonce. I do think that like the comparisons between Beyonce and Taylor Swift are okay because they are like two of the top artists who can command the highest ticket prices outside of Drake probably in the industry. However, Beyonce is too much of a production, right? Like she has hundreds of dancers, hundreds of everybody, and it's just like, bro, like do we really need all of this? But Beyonce, just like Nicki, it's like, yeah, like she getting old. So it's like even on her last tour for Renaissance, she wasn't even dancing as much as we know her to or expected her to. Now she had a foot injury or whatever, and she's had her kids and stuff like that. And yeah, she approaching 45 or whatever, so she may not want to dance that much. That is so totally understandable. But now it's like you really need to prove your ticket prices and really make it worth our while because we just have a lot of things that are competing for our money right now. When it's just like if your music not giving, number one, your performance not giving what it's used to, child, and your production is still it's like too much. I don't know, child. I mean, you get what we have here. Let's keep going though. The truth is, tickets have priced people out. They're even more expensive than Renaissance, and people were complaining about those prices. I'm not going because I'm not paying 300 to 600 for a single ticket. Yo, when I went to Nicki Minaj concert last year, I bought a nosebleed seat for one of her last shows in New York City, and Nicki shows. Honestly, everybody's shows are more expensive in New York City because it's New York City. So in the city where you're going to find the most expensive prices, I bought a nosebleed seat for Nikki's Brooklyn show for $100. $100, okay? And that's my favorite artist, right? And so like I feel like that was pretty good, pretty good. But for me, for somebody like, I mean, Beyonce's Beyonce, but I'm sorry, like I'm not spending $300 for a nosebleed seat, and that's like for anybody. Because if I'm gonna do that, then I might as well go all out and ball out, all out. So this says, I thought she was a bigger touring artist than Taylor Swift. What happened? Is her impact so big y'all don't buy tickets? It's funny that Beehives are still spreading like Beyonce has more impact than Taylor, while Beyonce takes so hard in her tour ticket sales. So what? Impact can influence ticket sales, huh? Make concerts affordable again. That's a motherfucking fact. Because even people who are not on Beyonce's A-list level, like tour tickets are just expensive, and it's obviously a bigger conversation. that we talked about in the touring business, in with Ticketmaster, their monopoly over the touring market and stuff like that. It just truly is disgusting. So I was literally just watching a mini documentary on Luigi Mangione, right? And some people were saying like how they don't know why older people don't get why like younger people like Gen Z have such a disdain for billionaires, right? And it's just like y'all really don't experience the same growing pains that everyday citizens experience. And y'all act like we're supposed to really look up to you. Yeah, back in the day, people really did look up to millionaires. But honestly, once you get to billionaire status, you only get to billionaire status if you take advantage of people. Like that's literally the only way to get to billionaire status. And so it's just like, if you consider yourself woke and you really got your eyes open, it's like, yeah, like, why am I doing all of this for these people? Like, why do we have to scrape for pennies for y'all when y'all have all of this money? For example, Elon Musk is sitting up in the White House or whatever, he worth over 415, $16 billion. It's 7, 8 billion people in the world. If you gave every person in the world 1 billion, you would still have 400 billion. Y'all don't understand why we hate y'all? And then you trying to take our rights away? And then you try to empty our pockets? I really do appreciate your artistry and the production that you put into your shows. But sis, absolutely not for a bad album. That's the thing. It's like if the music was worth it, then I. And it's like for people who are going to see Beyonce at this point, they're probably like super, 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 super fans. Which means that what? They've probably already been to a Beyonce tour and they've already, of course, on the tour, she's not only going to perform Cowboy Carter songs, she's going to perform most of her discography, but they already saw that, sis. They already saw that multiple times. And you're not dancing as much as you used to, girl. What the fuck am I paying for? Anyway, and yeah, her tour wasn't given. At least from what I saw, it wasn't given like you have your VIP slots or whatever. But it wasn't given. I ain't seen nobody with plates of food. I just saw drinks. Nicki was feeding us down, okay, and we got to take home too. Shout out to Nicki Minaj, man, yo. Anyway, let's keep going. It says this kind of explains the false advertising campaign for Secret. Yo, here is another thing that I cannot stand. I just can't stand that. Um, Everybody, like I see Beyonce fans saying like, "Oh, they're pushing this narrative," or "Oh, they're trying to sabotage" and stuff like that. And it's just like this is the worst thing to come out of the Drake versus Kendrick beef is that literally every fan base thinks that their artist is being sabotaged. Beyonce has the best PR in the world. Beyonce, everybody, once again, everybody that you see standing next to Jay-Z, TDE, Rock Nation, they all have the best PR. You notice how they all don't talk? They all don't talk, but they have the best PR. Everything is just always looks perfect. So I don't understand how people could be talking about any sabotage campaigns when they dead ass like own the media, like they literally own the media and have owned the media. So this person said we can thank Ticketmaster and their dumb ass dynamic pricing. They keep on denying, but we clearly saw it happen in real time. Yeah, it's really an issue. It's really an issue. Oh, but this is the tea right here. This is the tea. Shout out to you if you still watching with me. So thank you so much. Please make sure you like the video. This is the one that really got me right here. It said, guess all that Miraca pride wasn't enough to convert all the white she needed for them prices. Yo, if you've seen any of my videos on Beyonce, you know how I feel about this. The pandering, right? Here is her in her commercial for whatever her liquor brand is called, wearing that whitewash wig. Okay. And yeah, here she is again at the Grammys, her whitewash wig. And I understand artists have a particular aesthetic for a specific era in their career, but y'all know how I feel about these whitewash wigs and stuff like that. You was doing all of that, posing in front of the American flag in the name of nationalism when black people are, always facing the hardest out here, right? You claim to support black people, but you pander into the white folk, okay? White imagery on your stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it. You was doing all that pandering and they still not moving to buy your tickets. Not enough. Because if no white people got it, it should have been sold out. It should have been close to selling out. Child, at least one show and in New York or LA should have been sold out already. This is a sign of danger. And this is my like main point of the video is that like the guard is going down. Like the stint is up, and it goes for all of these artists. Once again, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's going for all of these artists. The climate of this country, economically and social wise, along with the demands of the music industry, and like how it's such just discombobulated right now, is really going to start to bring down the veil on these artists. And honestly, especially artists like, like the greats like Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, like they're getting older and stuff like that, so they can't perform like they used to back in the day, along with like not wanting to invest as much, along with the economy is being how it is, and all along with the music quality going down. Like y'all are not giving. Y'all are not giving, but y'all also need to, I don't know, y'all need to talk to the Ticketmaster and stuff like that, because I understand everybody need to get their money and stuff like that, and artists are definitely worth whatever they want to charge, but child, we broke. All right. So yeah, that's my tea on this. But thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I really hope you like it. Like, press the like button, and let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Will you be attending this tour? Will you be paying? Have you gotten your tickets yet? Why do you think that it's not selling out? Stadium wise, is it the quality of music, or do you want to blame it on the economic recession that we are in right now, or are you just as surprised as I am? Let me know. I can't wait to read your comments. Peace.